Witness B, are you there? Witness B.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning to you too. You are still under your oath.
Yes, Commissioner.
Yes, are you there? Witness B.
Yes, Commissioner.
Good morning, Commissioners. If we can start with a little bit of housekeeping. Yesterday, there were a couple of issues that arose and some documentation I promised to provide. So the first is the Transnet scheme that we projected. The second is the ballistic comparison that we compiled. And then the third, you will recall when the witness returned to dealing with the meeting with General Shibiri, we referenced that at a later stage she discovered in Mr. Matlala's phones that General Shibiri had constant communications and exchanges of money there. So we've also compiled those WhatsApp messages for ease to be attached to this set of papers. So Ms. Nube will hand these up.
Ms. Powe, you haven't forgotten that you also need to reference the stocking, whether it's pictures. 12. Remember, the witness said from the 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, Mr. Swart was stalked or scouting. They were scouting. And then we asked that you refer us to the evidence that speaks to that.
Yes, Commissioner Baloya is saving the best for last.
That's fine.
Only because it's slightly more complicated. So we're going to take the commissioners through this.
Okay.
The text of the papers is fairly small, so I will give the explanation that the witness gave, and I'll ask her to confirm that the correctness of the
That's fine.
explanation.
I was just making sure you didn't forget. That's all.
Absolutely not.
Thank you.
Commissioners, you will recall yesterday that witness B explained that what happens first, or perhaps to deal with the terminology on the schedule that was handed up for ease. If you look at the item we marked 1, which is highlighted in pink or lavender if you are a fan of different colors, it has a tiny number 1.
Can our technical people assist here? My colleague, Commissioner Kumalo's screen is blank, but we should continue so long. But let's continue so long.
So the version that will be on your screens is redacted because that is the version we're also displaying for the public. So it may be better to refer to the tiny text one printed. So there's a 1, there's a column, the first column is date and time, the second is record type. So you'll see it's either MS originating or MS terminating. So terminating is for incoming calls, and originating is where the user initiates the call. So these call records were obtained from Mr. Molefe's phone. So if you then go to the first one that we've marked, and that happens on the 12th of April at 11:36. You will then see that Tau receives a call from Mr. Molefe. So, can you see that? And then the second of relevance is at 11:43. Tau makes a call to Mr. Molefe. Commissioners, I'm not sure you have the annexures from witness A. And there, if I can refer you to WA1 at page 42. If you don't have them at your disposal, if you check the screen in front of you, it's displayed, and this set of records is now from Mr. Tau Pule's phone. And there you can see the two incoming and outgoing calls at the bottom of the page at 11:36 and 11:45. The difference in terminology here is that in the column 1, 2, 3, 4,
Is it
5.
not 11:43? You
My-
said 45, I
My
think.
apologies, Chair. Yes, it's 11:43. In order to identify the type of call in the fifth column, you'll see call type. It will either say MTC or MOC. MTC is incoming call, and MOC is initiating call. So it corresponds with the two calls that we cited in.
And where do you get this technical information from? I'm not trying to put you on the spot.
Not at all. The investigators and their analysts took us through the terminology.
No, thank you.
Can I perhaps have the witness confirm what you say? As you started, everything that you started with,
Yes.
just have the witness confirm.
Witness B, can you confirm the correctness of what I just described in relation to the two calls identified in Mr. Molefe's records and then identified in Mr. Pule Tau's record?
I confirm, Commissioners.
Can I, witness B, as you confirm that, can we just confirm for the record that you have the schedule, and maybe Ms. Bowe just take her through that, confirm what she has in front of her, what she's looking at, and that she confirms what you've said in relation to those documents.
Witness B, do you have the call data and tracking information provided yesterday that deals with Mr. Molefe's phone and movements?
Yes, I do have.
And do you have the annexures to witness A's statement, in particular the annexures that deals with Mr. Tau's calls and movements?
No, that I don't have.
If I am going to ask that you look at the shared screen on the Zoom link. Can you see the table that's displayed that deals with Mr. Dow's call records? The call at...
Yes, I can see.
Yes, the call at 11:36 and at 11:43.
Yes, I can see that.
And can you confirm that the explanation given regarding the two sets of calls is correct?
Yes, Commissioners, that's correct.
Commissioners, then at 12:16, sorry, and this time it's reference to WA1. Witness B, it's also on the screen, and this is where Mr. Bule Tau arrives at Mr. Molefe's residence. Which should be considered with the next entry, which is
Again, on that, do you want to have the witness confirm, please?
Witness B. Can you confirm the correctness of this?
Yes, Commissioner, I confirm.
The next thing of relevance is that at 12:21, the Viano leaves Mr. Molefe's house, and that is seen from WA1 at page 43 at the bottom of the page, and that is displayed on the screen. Witness B, can you confirm the correctness of this?
I confirm, Commissioners.
You will recall that the assertion that Witness B made yesterday was that after this, Mr. Molefe travels with Mr. Dau to do the scouting. So then we will revert back to the schedule that deals with Mr. Molefe's phone, and if you have regard to number 3, the items highlighted there, you will see the cell tower information is contained in the last column that deals with the suburb. And there you'll see that his phone was connecting to a tower in Duncanville. And that is the area.
Both phones
Yes.
appear to be, but again, let's have the witness confirm.
Yes.
So there are 4 entries that say Duncanville in respect of the 2 cell phone numbers.
Yes, so that's just to confirm that the phones were there and were making calls while they were there.
Yeah.
And we'll refer to another statement just now, if I can just have Witness B. Witness B, can you confirm that this is correct, that Mr. Molefe's phone was pinging in a tower in Duncanville alongside the phone of Mr. Dau?
I confirm, Commissioners.
And just inform us what again, it may have been mentioned before, what again is an originating base station? I do see the originating suburb and the base station. Harrington ATC, 4 entries of that. Would it be what we colloquially call in my language, Ipali yakwa Vodacom, Ipali yakwa MTN, Pali being pole.
Chair, we'll ask the witness to confirm, but it is that explanation that one is a broader area. and-
Witness, let's just
Witness
get
B?
witness B to explain. Witness B,
Witness
what's
B?
an originating base station?
Commissioner, my understanding of that it's the tower.
And then witness B, can you just confirm for us that Duncanville is an industrial area in Vereeniging?
That's correct, Commissioners.
Thank you.
Commissioners, you'll then see on the same schedule marked number 4 is the distance between the tower and where they were, and QTech, actually.
May the witness read that into the record. What's the distance reflected, the distance between the tower and QTech, witness B?
It's 504 meters.
44, not 4. 544.
Sorry, Commissioners, it's 544 meters.
Yes. Yes, Ms. Bowie.
And the last aspect in this regard, I'll ask the commissioners to have regard to CJC 4, and that is the Molefe bail bundle at page 40 to 41.
This is the transcript.
Yes. You will recall that the witness testified that when asked about this, the response given by Mr. Molefe was that he had left his car, his cell phone in Mr. Dow's car. And reference to that response is at pages 40 and 41 at paragraph 19. It starts at page 40, at the very bottom of the page.
Will someone read that into the record?
Yes, please.
It reads as follows. I also vividly recall that Dow, at some stage during a visit to my home, drove off with my phone in his car, as I inadvertently left it in his car when I got out of the car where I was talking to him. I intend endeavoring to analyze my cell phone records when it becomes available to establish the date this happened. The witness testified that this was unlikely because of the incoming and outgoing calls at that period, and those are demonstrated at number 3 on the records. Witness B, can you confirm this?
I confirm, Commissioners.
Commissioners, I hope we have done justice to the cross-referencing requested.
As I understood it, and I may, please correct me if I have forgotten part of yesterday's evidence. The witness's evidence yesterday was the stalking started from the 12th, the 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th. And so we've just discussed the 12th. Is there any 13, 14, 15? I think I remember the 16th. What about the other dates?
Commissioner Baloyi, you are correct that she referenced multiple dates. So the first one was to confirm that that scouting happened with Mr. Molefe's presence. And if you have regard to WA1 at page 44, witness A dealt with the scouting that happens on the 13th. And there it's those text messages, and it goes all the way until page 46, where they even discuss the name of the company, and there's a response that it's QTech and OK Sure. Then at page 48, you will see there, that's the correspondence with the individual called Lerato, where they were asking for car registration details and confirmation of the people involved. And then on page 49, you will see there the first entry is that Mr. Dow's phone connects to a tower 2 kilometers from QTech in Vereeniging.
That was the evidence of witness A. All right, that's all I needed.
Does it cover all the dates, or are you still continuing, Ms. Boy?
Witness A then also covered the 15th, and the evidence to support that is at page 50. And then the 16th as well, and evidence of that scouting it was those stills that we saw at page 52. And then the 17th, of course, was the date of the murder. Witness B, can you confirm that this was your evidence yesterday?
I confirm, Nancy.
And Ms. Boy, the few documents, in particular the one with the information on the incoming and outgoing calls and the originating base station, the originating suburb, and so on, we must give them exhibit names.
Certainly,
But
Chair.
at least that's far you've dealt with this one. So let's give this one an exhibit name.
Yes, we are at CJC 6, because CJC 5 is the bundle that has the kidnapping cases that are sitting with IPID. So the next in line, without putting it in that batch, would be CJC 6.
Yeah, I think we must have a running exhibit numbering. I remember when Ms. Hasim was leading General Kumalo, we started numbering and giving exhibit numbers. I think exhibit numbers for these should flow from this. It should not be per witness, but it should be a running list.
Chair, they do. So Ms. Hasim stopped at CJC 3. So CJC 4 would be the bail bundle, and because it has other items, it's 4.1 to 4.9, I think. And then CJC 5 is next, which has 3 documents within it. So it goes 5.1 to 5.3. So the next in line would be CJC 6.
6, all right. Thank you. It's marked CJC 6 then. Thank you, Ms. Bowen.
And we describe it as what? Tracking and cell phone data schedule? What should we call it?
Commissioner Baloy, to say Katiso Molefe, cell phone and tower information, tracking and tower information.
Thank you.
Chair, I wonder if the Transnet scheme will just be slotted in to your notes, or do you require this to also be handed up as an exhibit?
Or the one you read from?
Yesterday,
Oh, this.
it's not a self-standing document, as it were. It is just for ease of reference.
I think it may end up being unwieldy if we mark everything that comes up on screen, so perhaps not.
The only other one would be,
How are you going to know this is, you're going to, I think it has to be given. No, any of them on the screen are already, they are bundles. This is not in the bundle.
When we saw it on screen, where was it coming from? When we saw this on screen yesterday, where was it coming from? That's the document. Was it not in the statement?
the description of the events
The
is
one
in the
tender
statement.
at the top, tender manipulation against the figure representing Mr. Lucky Molefe. Then below that, there's QTech, there's SK Group, there's Transnet. Is this not in the statement?
The description of the events in that form is in the statement, but for ease of presentation,
Okay.
we prepared it.
Okay, maybe let's give it an exhibit number as well then.
Chair, this would then be CJC 7.
And you describe it as?
Infographic depicting Transnet scheme.
Before,
That
I was
was
going to, I'm trying to find in the because I see in the statement you do have exhibit numbers where, for example, I'm looking randomly at paragraph 44, where there's a reference to a copy of the initial report is attached as B2, right? So because this, which is in this infographic, is contained in the statement, I thought you could follow that B sequence.
Following on the B sequence as an annexure to the statement,
Yeah.
this would then be B10.
B10,
And we will amend the indexes accordingly for all of the files.
So we forget about CJC 7.
Yes.
Perhaps then you should do something to paragraph 26 of the statement, because that is where the scheme is referred to, so that whoever reads this document can cross-reference to paragraph 26 of the statement.
We will do so, Commissioner Khumalo. And then the last document being the WhatsApp extracts from Mr. Matlala's phone between him and General Shibiri.
Do these not appear somewhere already? And if they do, are they not marked?
Chair, they appear in testimony that has been given in camera, hence the reluctance to mark it from that record. But if we must do so, then we will do so. We will find the reference there.
Because it's here in front of us now, let's mark it here. Doesn't matter if it may be named twice, but for purposes of what we are doing now, let's mark it, let's call it something.
I propose then, Chair, that we mark it as part of the statement as Annexure B11.
Yes, Ms. Bowen. Oh.
Ms. Boy, it was referred to, I think, in paragraph 39 of the statement. The witness said after Ket Matlala's arrest, we looked at his phone and we were shocked to find that Shiburi had a relationship with Matlala, and there were WhatsApps and voicemails from December to May 2025, with the exception of April.
That is correct, Commissioner Khumalo. We'll cross-reference it in that way.
Then, Ms. Bowe, get the witness to confirm. She should have this in front of her, and let her confirm whether this is what she was referring to in paragraph 39 of the statement.
Witness B, can you turn to paragraph 31 of your statement?
Yes.
My apologies. Witness B, that's paragraph 39.
I think let's just clarify, what I was reading is not recorded in paragraph 39 itself. So when the witness was dealing with paragraph 39, she was asked a question, and in response to that, then she gave the evidence that I've just read out. So I made a note immediately after paragraph 39 because that's where she referred to these documents.
Yes, Commissioner Khumalo, you are correct. She wanted to make this note just as she finished dealing with General Shibiri. Witness B, can you confirm that the chats between Mr. Matlala and General Shibiri that we've now marked as B11 is what you were referring to when you concluded your testimony in relation to General Shibiri?
That's correct, Commissioners.
Commissioners, that concludes the cross-referencing exercises that we were meant to do.
Thank you, Ms. Bowe, but don't you want to refer us to the ballistics report, the rectified report? You have given us something on that as well, a one-pager.
Commissioners, that was just to assist when reading because it's often difficult to open both documents at the same time. I didn't propose that we include it as a annexure.
All right, no, thank you then, thank you. You may continue, Ms. Bowe.
Commissioners, we will resume at page 34. The witness's next topic is the involvement of crime intelligence and the PKTT. Witness B, in paragraph 93 and 94, you talk about a meeting that happens facilitated by General Mbuso Khumalo on the 4th of November. Can you take the commission through this?
On the 4th of November, we were summoned to Midrand to a meeting that General Mbuso Khumalo was part of, General Ali Kalakala was part of, Brigadier Mere was part of, General Kekana was part of, and Colonel Nduli was part of, as well as Colonel Mangnia was part of. Maybe to highlight Brigadier Mangnia and Colonel Mangnia and Brigadier Mere were the people that, as of the 5th of September, were in charge of the members that were giving us 24-hour protection for investigation and after hours at homes. And then General Kekana is overall control for those members, including these two brigadier and colonel that I've mentioned that were also responsible for our safety at the time. And then General Kalakala was the one in charge of this TRA and the measures thereof, and Colonel Nduli is the one who actually ran this threat assessment and find the findings thereof. There was coming with recommendations. During this meeting, we were then introduced to everyone, and then we were explained as to the steps that were going to be taken as of then, of which subsequently we were taken to the safe house. Well, we didn't know that that was the start of us being admitted to the safe house, but however, when we get to the safe house, we explained to the general that we didn't bring any luggages because we didn't know that it's the day, even though we have been briefed in the past that this was going to happen soon, but we didn't know that was the day. Therefore, we were given a chance to go back home and get our luggages and came back.
Witness B, can you tell the commission how this adjustment was to move from living at home under 24-hour protection to being admitted into the safe house?
It was like a beginning of the change to our lives, because as much as we thought it was difficult to be 24-hour guarded, you can't go to the restaurant, you can't go to the shops without someone following you and everything. And even at home, you can't have a quality time with family and children without anyone like looking at you like a hawk. But now it was more difficult to stay here away from the family. It was difficult with the family around, but now to be taken away from the family, it was really, really difficult. It still is.
And what does this mean for in your investigations?
For investigations, I think it was the best thing that could ever happen, because at this stage, at least as much as it disadvantages you and everything, but where investigation is concerned, I think it was a better plan to be taken away, as we have already mentioned the encounters from all different spheres, even amongst our very own. So this move, I think it was the best in terms of the investigation.
Thank you, Witness B. At paragraph 95, you deal with then the arrival of members of the PKTT as well as your meetings with Lieutenant General Khumalo. Can you take the commission through this?
After the arrival at the safe house, I think we stayed few days. Shortly, Colonel Khumalo, General Khumalo, I mean, sorry to say it's Colonel, I mean to say General Khumalo, of which I'll have to say the name just to differentiate between the two. I'm talking about now Dumsan Khumalo.
Yes.
Came to us and introduced. We have the introductory session between us and him, and he explained to us as of now what was going to happen. But maybe before I even go to the introduction with the general, there is also another part of the investigators or investigation team that joined us shortly after we were at the safe house. That would be the counter intelligent. And then all of us, including them, then there was introduction between us and the general and the way forward, of which he highlighted us that we may be joined by another team that is going to assist us in this investigation, of which later on, not so many days passed, and then the team that is referred to as PKTT then joined the team. And the team came with different expertise that was going to really assist the investigation, because amongst the expertise that the PKTT brought, it was criminalist, expert, it was analyst, it was the tactical officers as well, of which, if I may have a comment while I'm there, their arrival made this investigation to move a little bit faster, because most of the expertise that the investigation needs, like the investigation tools, now they were in-house. It was not like you're still gonna apply, go somewhere, wait for days. If you need the expertise, then you will just get it from the house.
Thank you, Witness B. Commissioners, that covers...
I'm not sure, Witness B, sorry, Ms. Bowe. I'm not sure whether you counted all the various types of expertise. Maybe you did, but at paragraph 96, you describe this as a multidisciplinary approach with various technical capabilities built in, including ballistic experts, DNA experts, analysts, and tactical officers. Do you confirm that?
I do confirm, Commissioner. However, I'm willing to, instead of me saying DNA, I prefer to say criminalist expert rather.
Thank you. And what do you mean by that, criminalist expert?
it's the expertise from, instead of saying from local criminal record, because it's not at that level anymore, but it's at provincial. That's how now it's addressed rather.
Thank you.
Witness B, at paragraph 97, you talk about the arrival of witness C. Can you tell the commission about this?
Yes, commissioners, on the 2nd of December, and then witness C joined the team, and he was briefed also on the case of Swart.
Was he also from the PKTT or not?
He was, but he came on the 2nd, like alone.
Witness B, just to clarify, was he joining as part of those supporting in the PKTT or coming in as another investigator to join yourself and witness A?
Maybe to clarify this, as I've said, the specialities of everybody from PKTT. Let me say for him, he came from the investigating part of it, so he joined the investigation team.
Thank you, Witness B. You then talk about, at paragraph 98, the planned operations that were going to take place in the days that follow. Can you take the commission through those?
Yes, commissioners. On the arrival of witness C, he was tasked more to focus on different dockets that were there at the time, of which the most focus, myself and witness A, we focused on those matters, whereas he was busy with this one, of which we didn't brief each other daily about it because we were all busy in different taskings. That's why I would like to rather, as we go, stick to the one of Mr. Mlife's case, or should I say Mr. Swart's case, and leave this other tasking that was mainly dealt with by witness C, because he's still gonna come and give a clear indication as to what was happening there. All I can comment on that is that I became aware that on the 6th we had different operation, including his. As to how it came about, what transpired, I would love to leave it to him to tell the commissioners, because he will be able to tell the story much better than I can do if I try to do now.
Thank you, Witness B. So then, looking at the two operations that yourself and Witness A were dealing with, can you tell the commissioners about those two operations, being the arrest of Mr. Lucky Molefe and the arrest of Mr. Katiso Molefe?
Yes, commissioners. After now, because this was an ongoing investigation since the arrest of the Tabus, with the information that was at our disposal through investigation, at this point, we were ready now to discuss the docket and make an arrest on Mr. Molefe, on the Molefes, if I may put it like that, both of them. On the 5th, then, we obtained various warrants of arrest that we prepared to execute as soon as we received them, including Lucky's and Katiso's.
And the warrants you are referring to, what types of warrants were these that you obtained on the 5th of December?
It was warrant of arrest.
You then deal with the events of the 6th of December, but first with further warrants that you wanted to obtain. Can you tell the commissioners about this?
Yes, on the 6th, that morning, we started very early with an intention to obtain search and seizures, a warrant of arrest for both operations that were intended. Therefore, we had to split because the jurisdictions were different. Witness B had to go to, witness A. He had to go to Randburg to obtain such a warrant. I had to go to courts, of which it will be Roodepoort and Johannesburg, of which I'll speak on what happened to the journey of me obtaining the search and seizure warrant, of which I subsequently managed to get them on both courts. But with the warrants that I have prepared prior, the wording was not suitable for the magistrate to sign those ones. But fortunately, in both courts, I found the magistrates that were willing to sign the search and seizures. They went as far as starting the whole document afresh to suit the requirements in order for them to be able to assist me, of which I'm grateful for them, because they took their time starting afresh the whole document, and the willingness thereof that was there for them to sign it, hearing from the affidavit how important it was for us to obtain such. But however, for my colleague, it was never like that. Subsequently, his one was never signed.
And just to confirm, the warrant that wasn't signed was the search and seizure warrant for Mr. Katiso Molefe.
That's correct, Commissioner.
Thank you, Witness B. At paragraph 101.
Sir, before you do that, Witness B, you say you went to different courts because the jurisdictions were different. Can you explain that further?
Yes, the information that was obtained already, it was the target that was targeted. He has a house in the jurisdiction of Roodepoort. However, the intention was to execute at the workplace in Joburg. So in case it was successful, we needed to be prepared with both.
Thank you.
Witness B, with reference to paragraph 101, can you tell the commissioners about the plan to arrest Lucky Molefe?
Okay. The plan to arrest Lucky Molefe, the plan was to simultaneously operate on both, while other team was at so the execution was
Witness
supposed to be
B?
simultaneously. So.
Witness B, sorry about that. Was that a pause or a break in the connection? If you can just start afresh.
Okay, the plan was to execute this warrant simultaneously. Therefore, the team has to split into two. One team of which I was part of, we were intended to execute at Lucky Molefe's workplace in Joburg, and the other team was supposed to execute at Katiso Molefe's house. However, because of the relations, the intention was to do it simultaneously, avoiding information leaking.
And what happened with the team that you were a part of?
Okay, we were strategically placed ourselves nearby because we were working with the Transnet investigators that were supposed to confirm for us. We couldn't just patch there only to find he's not there. The plan was for them to confirm that he was at work, and then we would have entered the premises and executed the warrant of arrest. But unfortunately, after some time waiting, it was confirmed that he was not at work at all. Then we had to withdraw now from that operation to join the other operation, of which it was at Katiso Mlifa's house.
And at paragraph 103, you then deal with your arrival at the operation at Katiso Molefi's house and what you encountered. Can you take the commission through that?
Yes, as much as my team joined shortly after the accused was restrained, but we also encounter these interferences that was there because we were already there by the time where we saw the Hawks, of which is the PCI, came in large numbers. And then we also saw an helicopter hovering in that house while we were there. Sure. At the time, I was there, but I also learned that the team has an encounter with a person who later known to us as John Mukhatle, a JMPD officer. I know this because at the later stage we had to do some investigation, of which I was part, and I ended up visiting his commanders just to determine if he was there in what capacity. And I learned that he was there after he was released from his workplace because he was unwell. He was supposed to go home and rest, but we find him at the crime scene, fully operating, confronting officers that were at work.
Witness B, if we can just revert back, take a step back to paragraph 103.1, where you deal with the Hawks or DPCI officers. Were you part of the exchanges that happened there?
No, at this point, I was inside the house, but each and everything that was happening inside was reported to us inside.
And then in relation to the helicopter, you testified just now that you saw it hovering. Were you part of those who then later interview? My apologies, a step back. You say in your statement that you learned who operated the helicopter. Can you tell the commissioners who this was?
Yes, I was part of that team that went to him to obtain a statement, of which he became to be known to us as Inspector George Raftopoulos.
And as part of obtaining a statement, did he explain his presence?
Yes, he did explain his presence. He said he went there because the help was sought by the DPCI. He mentioned that it was Captain Kruger that requested him to assist because there was something happening there at Mlifa's house.
Thank you. And then you deal with the JMPD officer, and you say there that you spoke to his commanders.
Yes, I did. I did spoke to a superintendent there, and I also spoke to his immediate commander.
And my apologies, who are the superintendent and the immediate commanders?
I'll start by saying the immediate commander That will be Sergeant Zwane. And I don't remember very well who is the superintendent.
And is Sergeant Zwane, sorry, I might have missed it. You say Sergeant Zwane is the immediate commander of George Raftopoulos?
No, of Johnny. Of Khatle.
Oh, thank you.
I just can't remember now the name of the superintendent, mainly because he referred me to the immediate commander, of which is the one who gave me a statement.
Commissioners, just to be of assistance, the Zwane is Raymond Simpiwe Zwane.
And where are you looking, Ms. Bowen?
Chair, this, I don't have the particular reference, but it's part of General Khumalo's statement. So we have the full names of the two supervisors. And the Zwane the witness is referring to is Raymond Simpiwe Zwane. And this is for the witness to confirm. The second, the name that we have is Mohammed Hussein, who's the superintendent in JMPD K9 unit. Is that so, witness B?
Oh yes, now I remember, because it was not my first encounter with this superintendent. He once helped me on my other investigation. He arrested some of my suspects. Yes, I can confirm it's him.
If I understood you correctly, Witness B, you say that you managed to get a statement regarding the arrival of the contingent, the DPCI contingent. Am I correct that you said so?
That also, during the course of our investigation, it was obtained.
Yes.
But it was not obtained. I was not part of the team that obtained that statement. But witness C is the one who obtained such statement. I was from a part referring from a statement from the part of JMPD John Mkhatle as immediate supervisor.
Oh, I assume that Witness C will testify as to the content of the statement I'm asking you about. But in one or two sentences, are you able to say what explanation was given for the DPCI descending at Mr. Molife's house, if that explanation was given in the statement?
Yes, Commissioner, as much as I feel comfortable if witness C is the one talking to this, but I also know that amongst the things that the DPCI explained why did they had to come there, it's because they got the reports that there were people that are pretending to be the hawks at Molife's house. So they were there to verify that.
Pretending to be Hawks, not SAPS members, specifically Hawks.
Yes, yes. So it was maybe that's how it was reported to them.
Thank you.
Sorry. Witness B, the Sergeant Zwane that you referred to, you've had the evidence leader give names Raymond Simpiwe. Do you confirm that that is the Zwane you're referring to, Sergeant Zwane you're referring to?
That's correct, Commissioner.
Thank you.
Just to cross-reference these statements, they are in General Kumalo's statement, and the statement from Mr. Kruger, Captain Kruger, is SDK 20 at page 188. The person interviewed from Hawks DPCI is Mokoena. I think it's a brigadier, I don't want to misrepresent, but it's LJ Mokoena, and that's SDK 21 at page 192. And the statement from Mr. Johnny Mokhatle himself is SDK 22 at page 195. Witness B, you explained that a statement was obtained from the officer, Mr. Mokhatle. What was his explanation for being at Mr. Molefe's residence?
Commissioners, his explanation, he said he was on duty, and also he was called by Katiso Mlife because there was suspicious cars, and then he had to come and check on them.
And you say at paragraph 103.4 that although he seemed transparent, he minimized the extent of his involvement. What do you mean by this?
At some point, he said he knows Katiso Mlife, and because he used to register cars for him, he makes it look like there's nothing wrong about him leaving his post when he was supposed to go home because he's sick, and he go and operate somewhere else, and acting and telling us that he was on duty, whereas at the later stage when we investigate, we learn that he was not even on duty, he was not supposed to be there. Then he further explained that he knows Mlife because he used to register cars for him. That's how, he minimized it, because for me, I wouldn't look like I know somebody, I register cars, and then in my capacity now driving a state car, I go into pretend to be doing official duties while I'm doing this on my personal level.
Right at the end of paragraph 103.3, you say he also ran the number plates of a car which was monitoring Mr. Katiso Mulife's house before the operation and reported to him that the car belonged to SAPS. Did you observe Mr. Mokhatle doing this? That is both the running of the number plates and also the making of a report to Mr. Katiso Mulife.
That is amongst the things, Commissioner, that he told us himself in his statement.
Thank you.
Witness B, in 103.2, where you mentioned the Chief Provincial Inspector, George Raftopoulos, Chief Provincial, is it Gauteng Province that you're referring to? Is he the Chief
Yes,
Provincial
he is.
Inspector of Gauteng?
That is correct, Commissioner. It is Gauteng.
And this is SAPS?
Not SAPS.
Okay. It's Gauteng what? Government?
I don't know the actual wording there, but it's not under SAPS.
All right. Ms. Boye, are you able to help?
Commissioner Baloyi, witness A testified that it is traffic police.
Thank you.
Chair, I see your mic is on, so, okay, thank you. Witness B, you sum up these occurrences and what you made of them at paragraph 104. Can you explain this to the commissioners?
Commissioners, with every scene that I've been involved in and with every person that I have arrested, this was really amazing to me. So much interference from various enforcement and agencies, not only SAPS. It made me wonder what was so special about this one suspect that was arrested on that day.
And with the knowledge that you have now, do you have any further comments about the involvement of all of these agencies?
With the knowledge that I have now, I've been getting information from all spheres that this particular one is connected into the higher places with information that will be told that this person that you have touched, it's a general's person, so you can't touch this one. It now makes sense why, especially the DPCI, why they had to come in numbers like that, because they were instructed to come there. By who? Because now I have an information that says this is a general's person, and it can only be a powerful person that can be able to pull up such. And it makes me wonder now if the PKTT was never part of this operation on that day. It was just myself and witness A. What would have happened to us on that day?
Witness B, in paragraph 103.4 of your statement, you say, although Officer Mukhatle seems transparent in his affidavit, he minimizes the extent of his involvement with Mr. Matlala. Did you mean Mr. Molefe there? Who is the Mr. Matlala
yes,
you are referring to?
Oh, yes, Commissioner, sorry, it's not Mr. Matlala, it's Mr. Molefe.
Witness B, you then at paragraph 105 deal with the manhunt or the operation that continued to search for Mr. Lucky Molefe. Can you explain what happened there?
Oh yes, we had an intense manhunt after we couldn't arrest him at his workplace, and then we went to all his known address. We couldn't find him. Fortunately, the information kept coming, and we learned that he was being hidden. He was being hidden. There was a deliberate intention for us not to find him. At some point, we got hold of the vehicle that he was driving, and he was supposed to meet with his friend somewhere in Soweto. We proceeded there, but unfortunately, the members of the family, they actively informed him not to go anywhere near that car any longer because we were surveilling it, of which amongst the people that claim as witness is gonna deal with that claim that they were kidnapped by us. You could hear from their phones actively telling this suspect to run away from us. And they even went as far as involving some other people other than them, that they were part of defeating these ends of justice, saying that they are willing to protect him. There was messages from the members of the Big Five that said we are willing to take the boy under our wing, make sure that the police, they don't get hold of him.
Was he ever arrested, just out of interest? Was Lucky Molefe ever arrested? Not on the
That's the
day,
thing.
but subsequently.
That's the thing, Commissioner. Up until today, we can't really get hold of him. And he just ran since the 6th of December. And maybe it's worth noting that it's not only him that is on the run. Even the person that we haven't even started pursuing, of which is Thapelo Mlife, the son of Katiso Mlife, is also on the run since then, together with Lucky Mlife.
Witness B, you say there's information that he's assisted to hide or on the run, including communication that by members of the Big Five, I think you say, that they are prepared to take him under their wing. Where is this information? Is it, yeah, maybe let me stop there. Where do you get this information from?
This information, Commissioner, as we were busy in the course of arresting, eventually the person that was supposed to meet with him confronted him. And then there was this conversation, that was this constant phone calls, because at the point, the people that we're talking about, that they were defeating these ends of justice, they were not aware now that we're having this guy, and every communication, every phone call that they were making to him, we were listening to. However, there is further WhatsApp voice notes, even though when we do more investigation, we got the clarity that those people that are referred to as Abu Baba in that voice recording, it's actually the Big Five. But that is an explanation. But from the voice note itself, if it can be made available to the commission, you'll hear that word saying Abu Baba, they saying they can take this boy under their wing as long as the police, they can't get hold of him.
So what you say in your evidence, I understand you, and am I correct to understand you? Maybe let me restart. Am I correct to understand you to be saying that Mr. Lucky Molefe, as he is on the run, also enjoys the protection, or maybe enjoying the protection of the cartel that we have been told is called the Big Five?
That's very correct. That's what I'm trying to say, Commissioner.
And these recordings that you are referring to, you have listened to them, you've heard them, those communications?
Yes.
Thank you.
And just before you move to the next topic, in paragraph 105 of the statement, you say, after Katiso Molefe's arrest, we carried out a manhunt for Mr. Lucky Molefe until the early hours of 9 December. But that is 3 days later. Did you mean 7 December 2024? Did the manhunt go on for 3 days?
Yes, Commissioner, we didn't sleep. Shortly after, if we slept only 2 hours and we continued. If we slept, the most we slept 3 hours and we continued until we had to come and prepare ourselves that early morning for the court.
Commissioners, we do have that recording, and we can line it up to play it after the tea adjournment so that we can set it up. I'm not proposing we break, just that we can do so if the commission would want to hear that recording, that voice note rather. Witness B, your next topic is the additional causes of concern, and in particular, you deal with a call that Witness A received from General Shibiri. Can you tell the commission about this?
Yes, commissioners. On this day, it was on the 16th, and I was together with Witness A, and then he received a WhatsApp call, of which I know that he already spoke much about this call in detail, but I would like to only go in detail on what I found it concerning, mostly for me. Well, in the beginning, it was more like ice breaking because they were talking about the health issues, and then it went where now I picked interest when he said he was invited to a birthday party of General Sibia, and he declined because of his health condition, but mostly other than health condition, he didn't want to go there because he knew that General Sibia would expect a feedback on the case of Swart, and he also said he knew that that was not to maybe brief the National Commissioner, but it was to brief the side of the other side. Let me
Just-
explain. It was said it was for the other side,
Just
of which it was Commissioner.
and Witness B, that you were able to hear this, had Witness A put General Shibiri on speaker?
Yes, he did put him on the speaker because now, with everything that we have encountered, if we had the call from the people that we were not so sure what to think of, we were sharing, like, other than giving each other a brief, we would want to share the call so one can hear from horse's mouth what is said.
Thank you. And Ms. Poe, I see that there's an issue with the numbering here. It says the main number is 106, and then instead of 106.1 and 106.2, you have 80.1 and 80.2. Have you corrected it? We have corrected it on ours.
Chair, I am embarrassed to say that I hadn't corrected it on mine, but we'll duly make those corrections.
Thank you.
Witness B, you go on to talk about the other parts of the phone conversation. Do you want to touch on those?
I would really actually like not to go into those ones because they already are out there by the Witness A.
Perhaps maybe just cover the last sentence in 106.2 and what your thoughts were at the time. Nesby, can you hear me?
Witness B, so it's the last sentence of that subparagraph where you start with Major General Shibiri's disclosures appeared. So what you made of those disclosures?
Perhaps before you do that, I think for context, the witness should do the whole paragraph. Because that which Commissioner Khumalo refers to is a conclusion based on the first part of the paragraph. And if it stands alone, it doesn't make sense.
Advocate Pua, the challenge we have, as Chair has correctly pointed out, the witness struggles with reading. So you may read it into the record, and the reason why I wanted the witness to go there is she's expressing her own view as opposed to witness A's view. So I wanted her to touch on her view, having had this conversation. Witness B, I hope you heard that.
I think it may be a nuance, but perhaps an important one, to suggest that she has difficulty reading, may have some negative connotations. It's more a problem of eyesight, as I understood it yesterday.
Yes, Chair. It's a method. She just has to put the documents quite close to her eyes in order to be able to read it clearly. And that whenever I'm sure you've picked up that whenever we've asked her to read something, there will be silence for a while, and that's just because she has to adjust the papers.
Perhaps you should do what I think it was Commissioner Baloyi who said you should read this into the record, or was it Commissioner Khumalo? I'm not sure now.
Just the first part, or the whole paragraph. The whole paragraph.
Yeah, only because in that last paragraph that Commissioner Khumalo correctly refers to, that we should hear something about it, that speaks about disclosures, but the disclosures are in the first sentence. So you have to say what are the disclosures about which she then expresses an opinion.
Yes, and it reads as follows. Major General Shibiri further informed Witness A that Molefe is part of a group of 5 individuals with interests in mining in the Northwest Province. Amongst these associates is a person known as Zay, a Zulu individual residing in Sandton who maintains friendships with Julius Malema, who is close to Lieutenant General Sibia. Major General Shibiri's disclosures appeared intended to underscore the magnitude and complexity of the case, as well as the significant status of persons of interest, while simultaneously distancing himself from any involvement. Witness B, can you confirm this? And if you still do, comment on this paragraph.
Commissioners, yes, I can confirm this. And the reason why I felt this way, it's because seemingly every time there's an encounter between us and him, he keeps dropping names that carries weight. And for me, it looks like it's a sort of trying to intimidate you in a way, to say, look at how powerful the people are having interest in this.
Thank you, Witness B. It is 1 minute before tea, Chair, and we are about to move on to a new topic. So is this an opportune time to take the tea break?
Let us adjourn and resume at 11:15.